Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Full Court. Not Full Court, the South African Cricket Podcast. So getting used to it. The SA Cricket Podcast, is South Africa's number one cricket podcast. Welcome all to you all. You can follow us on X at SA Cricket Pod. Subscribe to us on YouTube at the South African Cricket Podcast channel, as well as on Apple Pods and other podcasts and Spotify, which is the same under the same name. You can also buy some coffee at Buy Me a Coffee at SA. We've revamped this. Was largely due to those who supported us throughout the years, and we appreciate any and every contribution on the platform. And then finally, you can reach us at the SA Cricket Pod at gmail.com. My name is Mpho and Tim. I've got Tim Delace here with me. Tim, how are you doing?
Yeah, I haven't recovered, dude. I haven't recovered. This is not as bad as the loss against New Zealand at the T20s, but this still feels like a game where we could have won. I'm not going to say we should have won, but we definitely could have won this game at the halfway stage, and that leaves a little bit of sadness, shall we say.
Yeah, look, if you didn't guess it, we're going to talk about the heartbreak that happened last night. Unfortunately, it's not Victory Monday for the South Africans. The Proteas women losing by 52 runs to India. Tim, I think for me, the fact that the hope still lingered, like we got into the 10th over, we needed under 100 to win. We've been averaging around 100 in the last 10 overs. You've got Annika Bosch, not Henri Dirksen, who's still in. She's about to go out at that point in time. Chloe and Nadine to come with Laura. You're sitting there going, this is it. We've done the hard yards. The pitch is not doing much. Literally, it has to be a mistake by the batter or an incredible ball by the bowler in order for you to get a wicket here. And yeah, we end up on the other side, just like all the South Africans. But there's a lot to say, and I think let's get into it, because today's show is about yesterday's match. South Africa lost by 52 runs against India's women in the World Cup final. Insane performances from Shafali Verma, who took 87 and also 2 wickets. You also had Deepti Sharma, who took 58 runs and 5 wickets in the game. She was the player of the tournament at 22 wickets, and also the runs that she scored as an all-round performance. However, South Africa fought back really, really well in that game. That first hour just was horrible. Couldn't buy a wicket, but somehow they came back. Kakak with 3 wickets, Laba with 1. Marizan didn't take a wicket, unfortunately. And then in the batting, Laura, it was the Laura show. Laura scored 101 in a World Cup final, the second woman to score 100 in a semi-final and a final after Alyssa Healy. After that, it was just small little bit part contributions. Nobody put their hands up to say anything, to do anything. And I think it was the story of our World Cup. It was we needed people to put their hands up to support our 4 best players. And that's the problem. That's the issue that underlies this team, but that's not where we're going to start. World Cup finals are won by the team that manages the pressure the best. The team that manages the pressure the best, and this is in all finals, the teams that manages the pressure the best is the team that feels calm, makes less mistakes, and is able to transfer pressure onto their opponents at the right time. And yesterday, that first hour is sadly where we lost this game. That first hour, yes, there was rain around and everything else. That first hour, including the toss, I think is where we lost this game. And I know everyone will say no, but that's the right decision to make. But hear me for a moment. A final isn't a bilateral series. A final isn't a round-robin game. A final isn't some random Sunday game with your friends where it's rained and you're like, actually, I don't feel like batting on this thing because we don't know what the pitch is going to do. In a final, most likely or not in cricket, in a final, batting first gives you all the advantages. Whatever score you put up, even if you put 20, add 20 more because of the scoreboard pressure and the fact that it's the occasion of the World Cup final. One of the things, in order for you to manage the pressure, you got to manage your players. And I felt that batting first, having everyone in the change room at the start of that World Cup, of that final, would have been the best way to manage personalities, manage mentalities, and also to put down a score, even if it's 150. Just to say that runs on the board are runs on the board, we've put down runs on the board. Heck, if we put up this 246, we bundled our way to 246, and India would have been like, oh, we've got the momentum. This 246 would have felt like 300. And that's what we were saying on Friday. Bat first, put down a score, and let the scoreboard pressure do it for you. Because with every wicket comes, and obviously with our side, it came with a cheer whenever we lost a wicket. On their side, it'll just be utter silence. And that does a lot to a team. Trying to chase the World Cup, there's people who panic. And it's one of the reasons why I think Virat Kohli will be one of the best well-known players in the world, because he was the greatest chaser of them all. He didn't care about what was going on in the second innings because he knew how to close out. But not everyone is Virat Kohli. And Laura tried. Laura tried her damnedest to try and handle it. But again, it's a World Cup final. When you've been in that, when you were in the first 50 overs and you're being tonked around, and yes, you did well to get them before 300. But even then, yes, you have the momentum. But the moment wickets started falling regularly, it kept on adding pressure to the batting order. And it told eventually, right? People did try to hang around. But at the end of the day, pressure told. And you can't tell me that they played badly. I thought they actually played well. I thought the Proteas women gave a very valiant effort. The issues is that you can't drop catches in a final. You can't have runouts in a final. And that comes from the situation of you are not in control. You are chasing. You're trying to get to a target. So there's extra pressure on you to try and get the target to bat quickly, to not put pressure on Laura. Whereas on the other side, if you're batting first, you're set the target, 250, 220. We've seen World Cup finals being won at those low numbers. But again, I sit here going, the fundamental issue of all of this was, you'll know a team in a tournament, they tell you who they are. And the South African team told you that without a Marizanne, without a Tasman, without a Laura contribution, or even an Mlaba contribution, they don't go anywhere. And we said this before. Marizanne's the MVP. If Marizanne does not arrive, this game is lost. Laura scored 100 yesterday. We did not win the game. Laura is the best player in the world, hands down. We still could not win the game because, again, she needs help. And sadly, even the best players, because we said the top players must play, our best players didn't arrive yesterday. And that's the sad truth. Laura is the only one of the four, Lefty, of Tasman, and of Marizanne, that arrived. And that's why we're sad today, because, and it's not an indictment on them. It's just because this team was so heavily reliant on their performances that everyone else was, if they pitched in here and there, would have been great, but nobody did. And it was just because of that's who they are. That's what this team is. This team is a team of just 4 players who are really, really good. And then the other 7 are trying to help their way along. And in tough moments like a final or a semi-final or in pressure moments, chances are they most likely will not arrive. And that's what happened yesterday. And that's why it's so heartbreaking, because man for man, we're not that far away from India. And that's where I saw it. Like it irritated me, but I was so sad because this team, just they chose the wrong day to be who they truly are.
Yeah, like I cannot disagree with you at all. I can't come in here and say, you know what, Laura did the right thing at the toss when I criticized England at the semi-final. I can't do that.
Exactly.
I can't do that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Sometimes, and I'm not saying this in this instance, although I do actually think she mentioned this both at the toss and then after the match. She made some reference to the stats. I think teams in general, not just Laura, teams in general, they look at the stats and they go, "Ooh, the stats say we must do X, Y, Z." Sometimes look at the pitch of the day, look at the conditions on that day, and do what it says on that day. Sometimes take the stats in mind, but don't let it rule you. And I think that that's what happened. I think the stats said that we should bowl first, and we let it rule us. We let us rule
Yeah.
our decision making, and we were hampered from the ball from the get go. You're absolutely right. That first hour was horrible. 100 runs of 17 overs. That makes it a lot more difficult for us. That makes it a lot more difficult to rein them in. I agree entirely. It's as you said. You said last week about the Laura and Moazan comparison. You're absolutely right. Moazan is a match winner. Laura is the best batsman in the world. Those are just facts. That's just how it is. And unfortunately, Moazan did not have her best game. In probably her last game in this format, at least, she didn't have her best game, and we needed it. And in the one game where we needed more contributions from Sunil Luce, Anrik Dirksen, Chloe Tyrone, Kaka, Annika Bosch, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I said last week, the last episode, that I wouldn't have dropped Annika. And in hindsight's a beautiful game. But in hindsight, a 10 or 15 from Meso, Mo will have made a difference. Mo will have carried us across the line. An extra 10, 15, 20 runs.
Look, I don't want to be putting pressure. I don't want to be putting pressure on Karabo, but look, these people have been in the team for a very long time. They've gone to multiple World Cups across T20 and ODIs. The names you've named, right? Aya aside, Aya came back. She started our fight back, and I hail her for that. And I think, her and Mlaba did do something. You could see India with Mlaba. They did not want to do anything to her. They didn't want to attack her. They were just like, you know what? Take your 10 overs, 1 wicket, and whatever runs you get, happiness, go, 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 go. Yeah. But with Aya actually from the couldn't take wickets all tournament up front. Could not. But she came back in those middle overs in that final. She showed us some fight. She really helped in restricting India. To a certain extent, Marizan too, right? That 299 from being 230 and over 32 to get into 299 and 50 overs, well done. Masterstroke. The bowlers did their job. They got to the point. But the curse for Marizan is that she also needs to bat. And in the final, and I said this, like your star players need to step up. And if you look at India, if you look at it, right, Shafali Verma aside, Smithy gave them a 45, Dipti gave them a 58. Harmanpreet was the only one with a 20. Risha Ghosh, who they hope is their finisher, gave them 34 of 24. Right? Yes, it was in some weird circumstances, but they stepped up. Our batting card has a Centurion, and it's a 23 from Tasman. She ran herself out. Well done. Sunay Luce, 25, played it back to Shafali Verma, a dolly, a lollipop. Anuri Sinalo came with a 16. I'm not going to talk about Sinalo. Annika Bosch, another duck. She scored 35 runs in 6 innings in this tournament, right? Anuri Dirksen came through with a 35, but I think she's batting too low. And that's the other decisions, right? Why are people with better batting abilities not batting in the top 6? Right? You can put Anuri Dirksen in front of Sinalo Jafta. I get she's improved, but guys, these are things that really, really frustrate me. Anari, Chloe, and Nadine should never be batting below Senalo Jafta. It's Senalo. We had a bet. You said you were going to score a 50 at this World Cup. You didn't. I was supposed to buy you lunch and dinner if you did that, right? You didn't. And my issue is not that I can see that you've improved, and I thank you for it, because when times are tough, even in this final, you kind of stopped the cacophony of wickets. But at some point, I was just sitting there going, girl, just hit the ball. Be positive, hit the ball. You took like 9 balls away from Laura. And I was so worried that at some point, she's going to try to swing out because you're holding an end. And for me, that's my issue with this team. It's not a finished product. So getting to that final and getting close in that final, yes, there's something here. I just don't think the composition of the personnel, especially from a batting perspective, and also from where they're batting, needs to be looked at. It's wrong, right? Nadine needs more responsibility. You can't just chuck Nadine at the end. Why are we assuming that a number 8 is going to save you? Surely, if you're a finisher, Risha Ghosh bats at, so she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Risha bats at 7. Nadine should be batting at 6 or 7. Chloe should be batting also a little bit higher. They're much more capable than Senalo, much wider shot selection than Senalo. I don't mind Senalo coming in for the final 5 overs, and all you're doing is that, girl, I just need you to block 2 balls. Or play on the back foot because you're good at playing spin, you've improved, and tuck it around the corner, and I go and I get to the other end. This thing of giving her responsibility, and I get you want to, and to a certain extent, that's what cricket coaches are. You got to get the trust of the players, and so in getting the trust of them, you got to put them in positions where they think they can thrive. I think that experiment has ended. And so those are the things that bothered me throughout the tournament. And that's what happens here. And to a certain extent, the Karabo argument is, well, Karabo's a better batter than Senalo. Glove work, negligent. One's older and more experienced. I get that. If you played Karabo throughout the entire tournament, surely she gives you a much more capable partner at 6 with Laura in these situations. But then again, everybody in this team who is not Laura Wolfart, Aya Bongakaka, and Nonkuleko Mlaba need to look themselves in the mirror today and ask themselves why they should be in this team. Because quite frankly, I'm sitting here going, okay, outside of Marizan's done a lot. Tasman as well, I'm willing to give her a pass, even though she ran herself out. But everyone else who's not that 4 should, including Aya, so that's 5, should really be seriously worried about their spot in the team. Because I sit here going, this is unacceptable. She needed help. And if your abilities are not able to stick around and help the best batter in the world fulfill one of the greatest innings in the history of international cricket, because that innings was becoming that. Because had she batted the full 50 overs, and we won. Nobody's done that even in the men's game, in a World Cup final. Because Laura holds that record now of 571 runs, the most in any World Cup. Yet, it's a silver medal. That hurts. And it also speaks to the mental side of things. Was Annika Bosch mentally ready to play in that game? Even in the final few games of the tournament, was she ready? She dropped 2 easy catches and then just doesn't want to do anything with the bat. Has no answer with the bat. Like, it's looking very, very bad. And so, Tim, I sit here mad and sad because India played really well. And don't take this away from me. India played really well. But it was the fact that there was a chance. If this was Australia, yeah, fine. I'm okay with it. I understand, right? Because Australia's team is leaps and bounds better than us. But this is who we ended up with. And I'm not that sad, because if we can make a final with a team like this, with limited contributions from majority of the players, what happens when we do have a team where players actually are contributing and actually want to be there and actually feel like they have to they've earned their way into this team? Not saying that others have not. What I'm saying is, I think it's time for healthy competition. From what I saw this weekend, because that was the frustrating part. I'm looking at Anneke Bosch. I'm looking at Annerie Dirksen, the fact that we're hiding her down the order, and she's not even bowling. And I'm sitting there going, wait, but why are we being force-fed? Anneke Bosch, Sune Lees has had one innings. She scored all those runs in that game against India. Why are we being force-fed Anneke Bosch, Sune Lees, Annerie Dirksen right now, when surely there are players in South Africa who are chomping at the bit and are there? And it's not a situation that these guys are the only ones who aren't there. I watched Faye Tunnicliffe tear Northwest Dragons to shreds on Sunday. And then she did the same thing on Saturday as well. Laura Goodall did the same thing. She scored 60 at a strike rate of 150. She wasted no balls. 8 fours and 1 6. And she said it in the post-match pressure. She was like, I want to get back into the Proteas squad. And that's the hope that I have, that when we're in England next year in September and we're at Lords in the final, that this depth will be utilized to strengthen this team, be it scaring those who are currently in the team to perform better, because that's what happens, or it's bringing in fresh players, new players. Mia Naismith walks into this team. Laura Goodall, okay, not Laura yet. I still want to see a few more runs from her. Faye needs to walk into this team, right? She's done everything you've asked her to do. She needs to walk into this team. I think for me, that's where it is. And it's not a mentality thing. I think Mandla's done well to get them comfortable and to get them to play freely. And that's why we see the sporadic 50s and 100s from everyone else that isn't the big four, right? But you need consistency. If you're not going to give me consistency, that's what happens here. Shafali Verma, sitting on the sides, not being in this World Cup, gave India 2 masterclass performances in 2 matches. And then, by some weird thing, they throw her the ball and she takes 2 wickets. Those are the type of cricketers we want. I think we have that type of cricketer here in South Africa. I just don't think some of the players in this team are that type of cricketer. Sinalo Jafta is that type of cricketer. Her talent lets her down. The only thing she's good at is keeping. The batting side, even though there's improvement, I don't think you can travel with that.
I agree. What I would just add is your analysis in that, look at Jafta's batting before Meso came into the squad, and look at it now.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not where we want it to be, but it's a marked improvement. So what we want to see is, we want to see Alex Candler and Faye coming in, and the people that are already there going, you know what, I want to stay at this team. I want to see Sune Lees be consistent. I don't want to see her make 1 score in 8. I don't want to see Annerie Dirksen make 1 score in 5 or 6. I want to see consistency. We know they've got the talent. We know they're good enough. They're in the team because they are good enough. But they're staying in the team because they know that the fringe players are not getting picked.
To get dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. The fringe players are not getting picked. And that's a problem. That's a huge, huge problem.
And we've been saying this for a very long time. And look, Tim, I'm glad they made the final. I'm glad we need to celebrate them, because with the limited resources we have in South Africa, we made a World Cup final. With the lopsided nature of the squad and the inconsistent nature of the squad, we made a final. So that needs to be celebrated. And Mandla, congratulations on getting them there. The next step is to actually make this team a world beater, because the ingredients are there. You've got the world's best player in Laura Volfart. You've got Marzan, who I don't think is going to retire anytime soon, because I think she can see that they are getting close. You've got Tasman, who...
Not even from this particular format.
I'd rather her retire from T20s. In this format, an all-rounder like that does what she does is second to none. Take Marazan out this team, Tim. It's an argument we've always had. Take out this team, they don't win games.
No, I entirely agree. But
so who's going to replace? Oh no, I've got a player to replace her. I have a player.
There is going to be a time when she is going to call time. And I would rather that replacement get some game time now before she does it.
Well, technically, that replacement was supposed to be Nadine de Klerk. And she had a great tournament. She's improved. And we want more from her, right? And a little bit more responsibility from her with the ball and the bat. So Nadine had a great tournament. Chloe had a great tournament. But I get you. I'm looking there at Western Province and I'm like, Kayla Reinicke. And then it will stop this experiment where Sunay wants to bowl off spin. I don't understand what's going on, but all of a sudden she's bowling off spin. Is it because Seshni Naidu came in and threatened her for a spot? But yeah, anyway, Tim, well done to the Proteas women on making it to the final. It was horrible yesterday. As you can see, I'm still mad, but I'm mad because yesterday was a walk down the last 18 months of, we don't have an opening bowler. Marzan, when she doesn't do anything with the ball, we are 6s and 7s. Snap. This is one of those days where Tasman and Marzan are not going to score runs. This is bad. And then you're like, Nadine and Chloe had a great tournament. Maybe they'll do it, and they couldn't. Nadine, by the way, well done. The issue, and this is the reason why, you can't be batting at 8.
Yeah. We've said it all tournament.
Why is Nadine being forced to bat with 10 and 11?
The funny thing is, when we were 7 down, I still thought we had a chance.
Yes, because Nadine and Chloe were in.
You know, I thought we genuinely had a chance. Even when she was in with Kaka, I thought, you know what? If Kaka just noodles it for a single when she does face, then there's a chance. Okay, it's unlikely, but there was a chance. But you're right. You've got to use the best players better. And we're not using her in the right way.
So here's my thing, right? If Nadine came in, let's say at 6, and had to bat through Chloe, Jafta, bat with Chloe and Jafta, we win that final. If Sinalo's coming in as an 8, with us needing 80 to win, or 70, like when Aya came in, that Sinalo wins us the game there. She's good enough to rotate the strike for a single. She's good enough to defend. And Nadine can do no wrong at this point in time. And that's the thing about this World Cup. We unearthed Nadine. We just hope she doesn't go the Annika route. Yes, Annika got injured, where there's a bit of a fading. But anyway, Tim, I think, yesterday's game, congratulations to India. I think it's great for women's cricket that they won. Even though, we would have loved to bring the trophy home. The Proteas women are coming back, I think, tomorrow. It'd be awesome if those in I'm going to Cape Town today, so like if you're in I would have been there, but if you are in Johannesburg, please go and just give them a hug. I would. I'm so proud of them. I'm mad. I'm mad because I know too much. I'm not mad because I don't like them. I'm mad because I know this team can play better, and we didn't do ourselves any favors, the toss, the way we started, the drop catches, to kind of ensure that we created an environment where everyone played well. And so, that's man, it's a tough one. Really, really tough one. Okay, Tim, let's go to player ratings. Okay, I'm just going to go down the batting lineup and then we'll just add some of the reserves at the end. We're going to give them a rating out of 10. Laura Volfart, and this is where we talk about Laura. No words can describe, Laura, what
11.
you did for us. Laura, you made us a country. You made us a team. You made us a people. You are the type of leadership we expect from politicians. You led from the front. You also led from the back. You know, when we were bowling and times were tough, you kept the spirits high. Tim says 11. Laura, this is the greatest ever individual performance by anybody at a World Cup. The only thing that matters, that sucks, is you didn't win. So for that, Laura, I'm giving you a 20 out of 10 because you're 2 times the player that you are. And I know I say you're not the MVP because there's a value conversation. Yesterday, I was so close to rewriting it to say, we finally did it. But I can't expect you every time to bat for 40 overs for us to win games. It should be easier. But 20 out of 10, really, really impressed. Thank you very much for leading us. And yeah, we love you so much, Laura. I'm like, if you want to come on the pod anytime, we'll sit here and we'll talk. Got lots to talk to you about. Because yes, Laura, wow. Okay. Next name, Tasman Brits. She wanted 3 centuries. She came out with 1 century and 150. Where do you put Tasman Brits in all of this?
This is a difficult one because I don't think she, as a World Cup, had a good World Cup. And I think she will admit that by the fact that she said she wanted to get to 300 herself. But I'm not going to be too harsh. I'm just going to give her a straight 5. I'm going to go...
5?
Maybe 6.
Between her and Laura, there's only 2 South Africans to score a century at this tournament.
Yes, okay, but that's one fixture. That's one fixture.
Of the 15 people we took to the World Cup, 2 people scored centuries. And you're giving the second one who scored 100 a 5.
See, now 7 is too in my mind. From what I was expecting, 7 would be too. I don't think she as good as a 7. 6.5. 6.5.
Okay. And you can say it's a high expectations because she set very lofty expectations coming to the World Cup. And she obviously got half of that. She didn't get 300s. She got 100 and 150. I'm giving her a 7. I'm going no. She's staying in this team. I know she's had issues about her place in the side. It's secure. Like if anybody else in Hollywood Bets wants a position in the Proteas squad, it's everyone else but Tasman. And so for me, Tasman, 7. I know the back end of the tournament when we needed you didn't arrive. And I get that. Your form just wavered. But yesterday, you gave us a foundation, you gave us a platform, you gave us a start, you ran yourself out, we get it. But you did your job. You stepped up. So, yeah, a 7. Even though your average is 29, Tasman, you did score the second highest runs for South Africa. Okay. I'm not just going to go randomly because, okay, number 3 yesterday was Annika Bosch.
Well, I'm not going to be nasty. I'm not going to go naught because that would just be mean. I've always been a fan of Annika Bosch. I've always been a supporter of hers. The injury of hers really has affected her career the last 12 months, 18 months. I'm gonna go 3. I can't go more than 3. It's been a poor World Cup.
Yeah, look, I'm also giving her a 3. I was gonna be lenient and give her a 4, but even those drop catches just hurt us. And the one thing that I expected is the fielding, and I think Annika Bosch finishes the tournament with 35 runs and an average of 5. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, Sine Lis. She scored 2 half centuries, and 83 not out, and scored 183 runs, an average of 30. And also bowled off spin. Took 1 wicket at an average of 110. 8. What did she sport? 17 overs. Where do you put Sine Lis?
So obviously it's going to be slightly less than Tasman. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna be massively harsh. I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 6.
Tim, on my
I could go
side,
5.5.
I disagree. It's a disappointing tournament from Sine Lis. I'm even to the point where she's choosing to bowl leg spin, off spin instead of leg spin. Like, that's the easier art. Why you can't take wickets bowling that? And for that, it's a 5. You did not meet my expectations. Scoring the 250s is your bare minimum in 8 innings because you played all the games, 7 innings. Like, we can't wait, 2 and 7 innings for you to give me a score above 50. No. Okay, that was number 4. Number 5 is Marzan Cup. Our MVP, my MVP, my eternal MVP for that semi-final, Tim. Like, she's been off color throughout the tournament, but that semi-final. So 208 runs. She scored 250s as well, similar to Sine, at an average of 29. Bowling-wise, she took 12 wickets, which is like top 5 in the tournament, at an average of 20. So I'm sitting at a 7, similar to Tasman.
Yeah.
She didn't blow us away, but that semi-final performance was just as good and just as important. And I might even lean to 7.5 just because of that semi-final. So yeah, I'll sit at 7.5 because I am a massive fan of Marzan. You can't tell me anything about her. Age isn't on her side, but what we still have of her, we must cherish.
Agree. 7. Solid 7 for me. Yeah.
Cool.
We needed an 8. If we got an 8, we would have won the World Cup.
Yeah, we actually would have won the World Cup. Number 6, Senalo Jafta, wicketkeeper. 92 runs in this tournament after 7 innings at an average of 15. Where do you place Senalo Jafta, including her wicketkeeping? I thought her wicketkeeping was stellar. I think, it's just from a batting perspective because that's the other side of your job. Yeah. I'm hanging around a 6.5. Even a 6. I was not impressed. I just thought she batted too high. We can see the improvement, but sometimes when she batted, it felt like we had there were moments. There were some innings where she gave us like a 30, and you're like, oh, okay. But at this international level, she shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I'm going to 5. If you're batting where you're batting, I know it's not entirely her fault where she bats, but if you're batting where you're batting, you need to make more runs. I'm sorry, you need to make more runs than that.
Okay, Chloe Tryon, 176 runs, 150 in the tournament. Got a 62, I think it was the game against India, at an average of 29. She bowled really well. She took 6 wickets at an average of 37. She exceeded my expectations, not from her former self, from what I thought she was at the point in time. I thought she was entering this tournament with a form in decline, and she proved me wrong. And because of that, I give her a 7, even actually a 7.5, because I think she was better than Tasman in this tournament. So a 7.5 for Chloe.
Yeah, I was going to go 6.5, but yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, for the reasons you point out that
because that game against India that kind of set us apart from everyone else in the group stages was all her.
Yeah,
those 3 wickets, she was amazing, and then she backed it up with runs throughout the tournament, and she backed it up with key wickets in the tournament. So I was really impressed with her. On that front. Okay. Next player is Annery Dirksen. She played 6 games, batted 5 times, scored 55 runs at an average of 11. 35 of those 55 runs came in the World Cup final. I know it's not a 3. Oh, and she didn't bowl because she's a bowler too. I know it's not a 3, but is it a 5, Tim? Actually, no, it's a fail. It's a 4.
If she'd made another couple of those 35s throughout the tournament, because I thought she played really well in that final. If it was just the final, I would have given her a 6. Because I thought that 35 could have been the difference between us winning and not winning.
Had she won us the World Cup, it would have been a 7. Had she stayed with Laura, it would have been a 7. But
I know. No, I'm just gonna go 5. I'm just gonna go 5. I mean, maybe 4, 4.5.
It's a 4. No one batting 5 times should be scoring 55 runs.
No,
the other thing, she was batting at 8.
Yeah,
but man, it's
it's a 4. It's a 4. It's a 4.
It's not it. Okay, then we go to Nadine de Kloosner, Nadine de Klerk. Nadine scored. I'm gonna give you. Nadine scored 208 runs at an average of 52. So effectively, she matched Marizan's contribution with runs at a higher average with a high score of 84, not out, and a 50 in tow. The other thing that she did is she bowled. And Nadine took 9 wickets, so she was our 3rd best bowler at an average of 26, which is decent for her. So from an all-round contribution, I think this is an 8.
I think this is a 9.
Ooh.
I really do. I think it's a 9. I think she was magnificent. She's, I mean, she's not defined to me because I knew her talent, but I think to a lot of people, she's arguably the find of the tournament. The way that she went about it, particularly with the batting, against quality opposition in a World Cup, that takes some doing, and I think she will be getting a lot more lucrative contracts because of this, or she should do. So I'm going to go 9. Yeah.
If there was a most improved player award at the World Cup, it would have gone to Nadine. So
yeah,
that says a lot. No one else shot the lights out in this tournament like she did. So instrumental into the final. I'm going there. That's a 9. So we've got a 20 and we've got a 9. Okay, cool. From the bowlers, Ayabonga Kaka. Batting wise, only took 8 runs in 4 innings. Bowling wise, I took 6 wickets, 3 of which she took in the final at an average of 35. She bowled 40 overs at a strike rate of 40. Wasn't her best, didn't have her best stuff, looked disinterested throughout the tournament. I wasn't happy with Aya. Honestly, I think this is, I'm stuck between a 4 and a 5. Because she should be our 3rd best bowler.
Yeah. No, you rightly point out that she came back brilliantly in the final, but throughout the tournament she did not look right. Throughout the tournament, it has been setting conditions that are not favourable to her. But you've got to get it done with her experience. You've got to find a way, and she didn't. She just didn't find a way. She never found any rhythm outside of the back end of the final. So I'm just going to go a solid 5. Yeah.
Nonkululeko Mlaba, 13 wickets, an average of 22, top 4 wicket taker in the tournament behind Deepti Sharma, Annabelle Sutherland, and Sri Sharani. I'm giving her, it's a 9. She did what she could with the conditions. She put us in places. People recognized she was the best bowler in the team and they respected her for it. Yes, she didn't open up the game as what we wanted, but she kept us in a lot of games and she enabled wickets for other bowlers, but still managed to be our best bowler and still take 13 with that burden. It's like Keshav Maharaj. There's nothing more I can say about Lefty. no, I'm a massive fan. Like, I have a crush on
Yeah.
her, but like, yeah, it's what it is. Like, I love spin bowling, and what she did this tournament was impressive. So I'm giving her a 9.
Yeah, same. Yeah, no, she did what she showed her class. She showed her class at the World Cup, no doubt about it. She did exactly what she needed to do to give us the best chance. Couldn't have done much better.
Yeah, just really, really unfortunate. Okay, so the reserves will go with Dumisi Kukune. She only played 2 games. I don't think she's done enough for us to 1 wicket at an average of 86. She wasn't great, and she wasn't great before. We questioned it. I'm not gonna rate her for 2 games. Garabo as well.
No,
Garabo in bat. Nondu played and took 2 wickets in her game. I think she should have played more from that perspective. And then who's the last player? It was Garabo. Masabata Class. She took 3 wickets in her 5 games, an average of 36. I'm willing to give her a 5. I felt that we needed to bowl her instead of Aya at times. And yeah, I'm willing to give Masabata a 5. But she's the only one I actually wanted to rate. But outside of that, yeah.
yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Yeah, otherwise it's
Okay.
a bit harsh. Yeah.
As one last, what is it? As one last thing to discuss quickly, the Proteas women will take on Ireland at next month, I think in ODIs and T20s. Who from this team, like I tweeted yesterday and I said, Mandla would be a brave man to pick Sinalo, Annika Bosch after this. Are there any other players you're adding to that list that if you saw them in Ireland, you'd be fighting? For the Ireland series, you'd be fighting. Annika Bosch, who else?
Masabata Class, but only because of her age.
Okay.
I just think we need to move on. She's been a great
Okay.
servant, but we need to move on.
For bowling, it's a lot tougher. Who do you replace her with? I know we tried Hlubi. I saw Leah Jones yesterday. Not necessarily international level, but she's trying. And I think she'd be interesting. If you want to persist with Dumi, you got to give Leah a chance. That's where I'm at right now. Obviously, you got Faye Cowling from the Lions. So it's an interesting one for a bowler. So is she the only one? Because I have a list.
Look, as I said, I think I've sent to the list. I'm trying to think now. Just going to go back to it quickly. This is bad post, but I've got to just.
You sent me.
I don't want to. You don't want
to fight people.
No.
So you said Brits, Bosch, Klaas, Kaka, just because of their ages.
Yeah. So yeah, look. Obviously, Brits goes to Ireland, but I do think the replacement for her needs to start. It needs to start. We need to have somebody. If her form continues to drop a little bit, then we need to move on to somebody else. So she's definitely still in the squad. Bosch, no. Klaas, no. Do you replace Klaas and Kaka? Probably not. But it is Ireland. It is.
No, we're playing Ireland at home, so
it is Ireland. So no disrespect to Ireland, but this will be a good situation to give Sloopy and Cowling a chance. See what they make of. See what they can do. This will be a good chance to do that. I think the sooner we make those changes, the better.
Yeah.
That's 2 changes. I'm not asking for 5 or 6. That's 2.
In my head right now, bring back Faye Tunnicliffe. She is the top run scorer in the Pro 20 and also the Pro 50. She's been really good this season. Give Candler a run. Or Mia Naismith, bring them in. Annery Dirksen, I'd give her a break. Bosch, Dirksen, I'd give them a break for this tour. Drop them, essentially. Sune Lees, I'm not sure about. Maybe from an age perspective, do try give her a rest. So I'd give rests to Cup and Lees, and maybe a last chance saloon to Dirksen and move her up the order. Garabo, the start of Garabo's reign as the wicketkeeper for the Proteas women starts against Ireland, and it goes all the way now until the World Cup. Sinalo can hang around and she'll be there as a senior statesman, but she needs to be supportive if that's going to happen. Those are the changes I'm thinking of making going forward. There's a lot of talent in South African cricket, and we just need to give guys an opportunity to play. And Laura Goodall deserves an opportunity too. And there's a new management system. You've watched what Mandla's done with the Tasman, what he's done with the Sinalo. If he can do the same with Laura Goodall, who's got everything and can hit at a very high strike rate, I want to see her in the thing, which is why are we running around Dene? Right? This whole fascination with Dene van Niekerk is baffling, because even in her own team goes like this. The batting lineup for Western Province women goes like this. Former Protea, Faye Tunnicliffe, former Protea or current Protea, Laura Goodall. Right, they put on a 100-run partnership yesterday in a T20. Then it goes Dalmarie Tucker. Remember her? She used to play for the Proteas. She took 3 wickets yesterday, scored a couple of handy runs, also scored runs on Saturday. Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting? Then it goes Kayla Reinaker. Don't we want to see her in the team? SA under-19 women's captain that took the team to the final, lost to Shafali Verma's India team. Right? Guess who their number 5 is? Olusegun, captain of the first ever SA Under-19 World Cup team. Athletes. If Western Province women does not win the Pro 50 and the Pro 20, I don't know what will happen there. But even in the Western Province, there's no need for Dene. Do you know where Dene is needed? Potch. They need batting. They need experience. Mignon de Bria is playing there, but they need a lot more help. Go there. Western Province is fine. It's like the Lions. It's just spewing with talent. But anyway, that's my thing. Last thing before we go, Coach Mandla and the support staff. My rating, Tim, for them, I think is a 9 out of 10. I think there are definitely decisions I disagree with Mandla on. He's proved me wrong on most of them. And he's given me enough for me to say, whatever decision he makes, I'll back, which is why when they batted first, I was like, okay, I'll give you this one, even though deep down inside I was not happy. But you found a coach similar to Shukri who somehow gets the best out of players, who believes in the character monsters. I just feel like this is like Shukri's first edition of that team that had Tyner Klaasen. It had all these other weird and wonderful players. And then he steadily started giving people a little bit more as he got, the players that he wanted. This is the thing. We want to see Faye Tunnicliffe in there. We want to see Candler in there. Give them a run. We want to see what Laura Goodall looks like in this team. We want to see what Diara Ramlakan can do. We want to see what Faye Carlin can do. We want to see Nonkuleko, who's the other Nonkuleko at the Lions, the captain? Forgot her name. But I'm at the point where I feel like give this man a couple of years, what we're feeling today will end up getting over the line.
Yeah, look, if you go back further enough at the archives, you will find a quote. You'll find me saying that Mandla as Proteas women's coach will not work. And I could still sit here and be salty and go, well, we didn't win the World Cup, so I'm right. But you know what? I'm wrong. I'm wrong. This team has performed a lot better than I thought it would at this World Cup. As a team, a lot better. I didn't think this team was going to make the final. I thought they could just about make the semi if things went their way. So they've absolutely outperformed my expectations massively. I agree. I think there's a lot of things I don't agree with what Mandla's gone. Batting order being the big one. But do you know what? He's got a formula. And it does seem to be going in the right direction. He deserves a huge amount of credit for this. I thought that this team is not as good as some of the other teams that have made World Cup semi-finals and not a little less talented, with the obvious Laura in the team. But they've done magnificently well. They've done really well. And he deserves huge amount of credit for that. This is the starting blocks for something. I think that this is quite possibly the starting blocks for something special. It's the right direction. Just don't wait too long to make those changes.
Yeah.
Don't hang on to people too long. That's my only concern going forward.
Yeah. No, look, I think that's a good note to end it on, right? It's about, even the best teams in the world do tweak. We are excited to see what tweaks you have because South African women's cricket is thriving. And there are ladies at domestic cricket who are chomping at the bit to just be given one chance. Just one chance. And we've named most of them in this podcast. We'd like to see them in against Ireland in December. It would be really, really nice to see that. Like Faye Tunnicliffe and Laura Goodall are batting at strike rates that are above a runner ball in one days, and they're batting at strike rates at 150 plus in T20s. And yes, you can tell me about the quality of the bowling, but isn't that what you've asked for them to do?
Yeah.
Right. And, you can't fault the opposition, but that's what you've asked for them to do. And I think even in this Ireland tour, it must be a little bit more of an emerging. I wouldn't mind seeing a Kayla Reiniger in that team. So here's the thing. If Sunay Lisa is going to bowl off spin and bat, tell Sunay to go on a long December holiday. We'll put in Kayla Reiniger. And as you said, Tim, it's about competition right now. It really is about competition. Ladies are making a statement all around South Africa. We need those ladies. And they watched yesterday. And I'm sure in their houses, they were sitting here going, I could do better than her. I could do better than her. I could do better than her. Hold them to that. Let's see whether we become better. I look at how India's improved from 10 years ago when we were better than India, leaps and bounds. Look at how they've improved. And you can say they've provided more investment, 100%. We get that. But the talent still sits in South Africa, and we're a talented nation. And that's what this World Cup taught us. When we were looking at this World Cup before, it looked like it would be 50-50 between us and New Zealand to make the semi-final. We made the semi-final comfortably by beating India. The self-same India we lost to in the final. So at the end of the day, we're not that far away. We really are not that far away. And it's about making the right decisions. And actually, not even, make decisions, right? Don't be afraid to move off of someone. And if the other option doesn't work out, bring the other person back. But that's what you want. People just want an opportunity to see if they can't be a Protea, if they can't support Laura. Yesterday, all we saw was Laura needing help. Help the best player in the world. Heck, she's the best player across the men's game too. And I know we have Joe Root, but we've also got Laura. And that is a massive, massive statement. Laura Wolfert needs help. Anybody in South African cricket who wants to help Laura Wolfert, please go to your nearest cricket ground and score lots and lots of runs. We will send Mandla there. We'll send him clips. It's on CSA's YouTube channel, Hollywood Bets Pro Series. We will send him there. Just go score the runs. And somebody please send him the video from yesterday when Faye and Laura were going guns blazing. And then send him the video from the day before when they did the same thing in the Pro 50. Just please. Just send it to him. Because, yeah. But anyway, what a tournament. What a great tournament. Thank you very much to the Proteas women. Congratulations on finishing second. Commiserations as well. And yeah, we'll be back sometime this week talking CSA T20 challenge. There's some teams who can't get 138 runs. Some teams are just falling apart at the seams, it seems. And other teams are just doing incredible things. But we'll talk about that later this week. But outside of that, from Tim and myself, it's goodbye and lesale kakagiso.